something a little bit interesting happened with you. You dreamt that you were in this space. Mm-hmm. And we are here in a chapel that is really quite lovely. And you dreamt you were here.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me what you saw in your dream.
In my dream, I entered in here through the doors behind you, mm-hmm. And went here to the side. Actually, in my dream, I could go to the side of the sanctuary. There was a corridor, and I went to the side because this place was filled with young ladies, just phenomenally dressed in all kinds of traditional dresses and colorful and most beautiful, and they were singing, they were making an amazing chorus. It was like the sound, the music was rolling and changing like waves from traditional song to church song to modern music. It was fluent. It was amazing. So they were having a big celebration in here, and I somehow just walked in on it and didn't want to be in the way. So I went to the side, to the wooden paneling, and went down along that side. And as I went down that side, there came in the center. All the chairs were filled with young ladies singing, making music. And the doors opened again, and in came a parade of ladies holding flags of all kinds of nations. Each one was holding a flag, and they were coming down all the way while the music was going on, while the joyous celebration of the voices was happening. And I was just, this is amazing. And the sounds and the human voices and the blending of the tones and the change from what I was accustomed to hearing in churches to foreign sounds. It was amazing. So I came down here into the middle of the room and looked, and just like a fly in the wall, only real size kind of thing, I was watching all this happening, and the organ was playing up there. The organ behind you, if you have a look at it now, that organ was being played, and up on either side of the rig positive, there were also young ladies. With flags and in traditional dresses again, and colorful, and they were singing and waving with the music. It was magnificent. And so I came down here, and it seemed to be right here. The place was filled all the way to the front. Also here in the choir areas, there were people, and they were all worshiping, and it was just one magnificent envelope of music. And as I came underneath this place where the original organ was placed, way back by now, nearly 80 years ago, there was not this organ case as you see it now, this dark oak wooden case. It was not there. There was a beautiful, almost railroad technique-like structure at the base, where the thick wooden base is of the organ case. There was this aluminum structure, and above it were clear glass organ pipes, 3 layers of clear glass organ pipes. And as I walked here on the side, sorry, I didn't want to interfere with the young ladies, so I was literally here on the side. So I went here to the side. Suddenly, while the music was playing, the aluminum structure, like an unfolding wing, was opening up and bridging across the room. So can you imagine that there was a base here, it was opening up in 3 sections, a shorter section, a longer section to here, and then like a 9-foot section all the way across. Boom. And there was this single row of clear, round glass organ pipes with the sound of a cello that was coming down. I was standing underneath this aluminum bridge here, and when I moved this way, I could hear the organ sound from this one stop, solo stop. When I moved this way, I could hear the sound come down. It was just amazing. And the ladies kept on celebrating. And then the intriguing thing was when it reached across to the other side, to this window, to this window here, the aluminum arc bridge, it was very simple railroad construction undercarriage. When it reached across, it connected to another set of pipes that was on either side of the window. And those pipes were out of white marble stone. And they had a gentle Celeste type sound. So as the bridge unfolded and then made connection right underneath the window, it actually provided the wind and the electric action for this whole section to come to life, and this was tuned slightly out of tune with the cello section. So suddenly we had, when it connected and the music continued, we had a gentle Celeste sound, like a natural tremulon, very gentle wave. It was just absolutely beautiful. And then, while it was playing, then it disconnected and folded again. And then I woke up. That's it.
Wow.
And I thought, Schnitzel, that was cool. So, the next evening, that stuck with me the whole day. So the next evening, when I went to bed, I just asked the Lord, I want to dream about that again, if you don't mind. I'd love to visit this, because what I want to see is, how does this work? I just took in the motion and the colors and the scenery. Oh, yeah, and I wanted to see how are the hinges? How do the hinges work? How does the air unfold? How are the glass pipes held upright and don't fall down? You know? And I was granted. The following night, I dreamt again, the same thing, and I came down here to the front because I came with a purpose in my dream. So I sat down here, and I just looked at this all. While everything was going on, I just looked at it unfold, and looked at the dimensions, and looked at the hinges, and how does it work? It doesn't make a sound, it doesn't creak, it doesn't jump and jerk. How was it all put together? And it was just fascinating. I was just playing with it. Oh, and then I noticed something else. When it was unfolded, yes, there were the clear glass organ pipes. But what I only noticed the second time around was the language of the clear organ pipes. They were all different colors. So that was really cool, okay? And what was amazing to me, then see that you have behind here, you've got an instrument, a historic instrument, it's 80 years old. completely restored with all the most beautiful, round, gentle, powerful, fat bass notes. Just pure fundamentals coming out there. Poof, with the cello out of glass extending out. Connecting to a Dulciana Celeste type sound over there, solutional kind of thing, that gives a gentle, natural wave. And all of it carried and brought into a sound, full sound, brought into a full sound by the 1969 organ in the back. That was really just, that was an amazing thing. And I actually entered the dream a third night in a row. Because even the second time, when I was there and checking things out, I just wanted to see it again. I hate to tell you, but it was so amazing. The third night, I said, I want to see it again, please. And I did. So maybe one fine day we will see this built and installed right here, because it would bring the past. It will connect the past, supported by the strong presence. It will connect it to the future. So there's a ton of symbolism happening here that I was not really aware. I was just marveling at the beauty and the sound just coming from everywhere. Oh, the pipe organ is just an amazing instrument, you know. It's the only instrument, unless you're a mouse or a spider, that you can walk in, you know. And on top of it, the pipe organ is the only instrument that in its development is not finished. And it is not only not finished, but it's the only musical instrument that is alive because of innovation, that lives because of new development, that lives and is relevant because of changes in taste and ears and hearing and musical perception. If you mess with the design of a violin, Stradivarius, that's it. That's where your $1 million goes. Sorry, you know. Nobody's going to pay you $1 million for an electric Yamaha violin, you know. And it'll never be. It's a cool thing because it's lighter and you can sit on it without destroying it. That's cool, okay? But it doesn't improve. Now, the pipe organ, on the other hand, every single stop, every single sound character within the pipe organ is because of changing taste, changed application of mathematics and science. And can we do that? Yes, we can, you know? So the pipe organ is an amazing instrument. And on top of it, a 300-year-old instrument, a 400-year-old instrument, a 500-year-old instrument is as exciting and relevant and important as the instrument built right now, or 5 years down the road, or 50 years down the road, which is amazing. Throughout history, those pipe organs that really made a mark in history are those that inspired the musicians to not just be musicians, but to be composers, to be creators of music. Many times throughout history, organ builders put new stops in place, new sounds, new technical advancements, put them into the instrument, not quite knowing how the musicians will take it, what will happen, how it will be applied. And then folks sat down, okay, I'm going to play my, hey, I've got a new sound here. Hey, I've got a volume control with a swell box. Hey, I've got a coupler. I've got an octave coupler. Cool. They're amazing things. So, once again, organ builders, they need to be encouraged to be innovative for the purpose of driving music by the musicians into new areas unexplored yet. It's a beautiful thing.
So you sat in that spot in your dream.
Yes. Yes, I sat in this spot in my dream, and I looked up, and there was the organ front in 3 sections unfolding like the letter Z. You know, with a shorter section that was holding the largest pipes and close to the bass, opening up to a middle section with the medium-sized pipes, and then it was chromatic, and then going out with the last section, and when it unfolded fully, then it connected on the other side and gave life and air and breath to the stone pipes over there that formerly just simply blended in with the wall. That was cool. Yeah.
So it came out
Yes.
across to this window,
To the base of that window.
and then it retracted again.
Yes.
So it didn't necessarily stay across the altar. It was something that came out as a part of the worship service on a very special occasion,
That's correct.
and then went back away again.
Yes. And then provided in its folded up state also a most magical organ front.
Which
And-
was on the wall above you there?
Yes, correct. And behind it is an organ chamber, and that's where other sounds came out. Yeah.
You've talked about the sense that this was symbolic. Everything in your dream had some sort of symbolic meaning.
That's correct, but I was not aware of it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was in my dream when this celebration was happening, and this room was filled with the young ladies of all tongues and tribes and nations, and singing and worshiping and having a most marvelous time and going through different phases of different kinds of music. Music I was very familiar with and wanted to sing with, but felt a little bit, I was just like the fly on the wall, the visitor that, how did I get in here again? Anyway, but then the music changed fluently into sounds and tones and phrases that I was not familiar with. So it was from familiar to foreign to, intriguing to new to what is this to, I like this, and it was amazing. So it was full of life and full of sound, and yet it was not overwhelming.
Did you know at the time that they have an international event?
No, I didn't. Not at all.
That
Oh.
You were actually walking through something that does happen in this chapel.
Yes, we learned that later on. Mm-hmm. We learned that later on, which is fascinating. Also,
How did you feel when you heard that? That you were walking through in your dream something that actually happens here?
Goosebumps?
Yeah.
Yeah, goosebumps. Kind of, really?
We talked earlier about this theme of the present and the past and the future.
Yes.
How was that? How did you realize that in the dream?
I could see it because I've been here in this chapel many times over the last few years in order to service the musical instruments. And so I'm aware of there being a hidden treasure behind me up there that has been silent now since at least 50 years. And the thought occurred to me, being aware of the original builder, what amazing sounds this instrument could contribute if it would be renovated, brought back to life again. And that was an amazing thing. You see, the young ladies they brought to the worship in this room, they brought a certain range with their voices, of frequencies and character that was supported in the bass notes, by the bass notes that in my dream that came to life from this instrument up there. And they were supported made complete in the sound by the deep, beautiful cello sound of the glass pipes. Also, the pipe organ in the back provided sparkle, much higher frequencies that the ladies were not able to contribute with their voices. So it had an amazing range. It touched it checked all the boxes regarding this is nice, this is cool, this is beautiful, this is and low frequencies that we can feel.
Ooh, cool.
So that was amazing. Yeah. And with this being a school setting, it took time. It took a week, 2 weeks. It took some time for it to sink in for what I've seen. That is that right now there's one generation of students here. And in 2-3 years' time, poof, they're out in the world. They grow up and they become whatever they're created to be. It's amazing. And yet they're not, this is not all. There was not just one generation prior to them, there were several generations prior to them. At the time when this instrument above us was brand new, they were young ladies. Some of them are not around anymore. Many of them are not around anymore. And so then it becomes full of symbols, this whole vision, that you have the past of the school represented strongly and supportive. The alumni and the past generations have got not just an emotional bound to the school, but also there's a foundation given to them that they carry throughout their lives, and have into their upper age, and encourage other young ladies to become, just to unfold and be the people that they are created to be. And so you've got the past encouraging the present instrument that was also in its most marvelous, beautiful way supporting the singing of the young ladies. And then you've got the future, the front, the almost seemingly, how is this possible? Aluminum and glass front unfolding in motion. Everything else is stationary around here, except for human life, people walking in and out. But no, suddenly there's innovation, life. Because we move around, we are drawn to things that move. Think of your brass band that marches through the village and plays music that everybody can relate to. Think about the folks with the Quetschkommode and stuff, So, and yet it was just an unusual sight to have the king of instruments pipe organ that is architecturally and tonally designed to be stationary and fixed in its particular setting suddenly come alive and move and reach across the room. It was actually bringing the sound, the pipes across and connecting that. Later on I learned that the past is represented behind this wall with the beautiful, supportive, gentle bass notes that are necessary to be the foundation of the music in this room. And the singing is supported by the higher frequencies provided by the present instrument and by the solo stops. And then there's the future, or there's the present generation, actually. The present generation also represented in the motion, in the urging to reach out and to go over there against your comfort, against what you might have been told. You shouldn't do that. It's never been done before. Oh yes, you go there. If you want to go to the moon, go to the moon, no problem. Okay? So there's this immediate future represented in reaching out, and there's the Latins, the Romans had a wonderful thing. They've got a future of the future tense, which is really cool. So then the future connects to the stone pipes and brings not just the next generation to life, but the generation after the next generation. So there is a continuum, visually and tonally explained and demonstrated in this setting. And it's not in dissonance, it's in harmony, it's in sound, in regular physics, in mathematics, in design, in color, in materials. It's amazing.
To your knowledge, has moving pipe organ parts with glass pipes ever been done before?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's always best to say, instead of to say, no, it hasn't been done, it's always best to say, it hasn't been done yet. Because, yeah, when the first guys were building their wooden frame with wooden wheels and sitting on it and rolling down a gravel road in the village on a wooden seat, busting their butt, to the amusement of the villagers, what is the purpose of that? Take a horse, man, take a horse. And somebody said, no. One fine day I can actually lift my legs off and I can make this thing move with my pedals. I know. And they said, right. That person bumping its butt wound, on this wooden frame with the two wooden wheels, had the vision, one fine day there'll be such a thing, I don't know what it's called, but we might as well call it bicycle. And then the guy's running the bicycles like crazy, and then riding a bicycle to go to work to see a gigantic steam engine move things. They thought, gosh, if I could only have that in tiny and have it inside my bicycle, how cool would that be? Once again, there are those people who say, it's never been done. And there are the other people who say, not yet. And then, sure enough, 1900, right around the same time of the car, we get the motorcycle. See? And then, so, it's okay to dream. And it's okay to dream positive things. It's okay to question your dream. It's okay to ask, can I see this again? You know, it's okay to do that. So, if you saw something amazing in a dream that you would like to visit again, just ask and be persistent. And you might just visit it again and come to understand how it will work. Because now I've seen it in my dream, I've seen it several times now. I made sketches how it's going to be. Now it's just a matter of bringing it into present reality. That's all. Last step. No problem.